Allan here. Thanks everybody for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get all of the latest episodes of our show. Today we are chatting with Jason James and Camille Sullivan about a brand new film, Exile. And from what I understand, our show is the first or one of the first to do press for this. So I'm very excited. This is going to be a fantastic film for people to enjoy. Thank you both so much for your time. It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I don't know if being first is the best thing, because now, like, what do we have to remember why we made this movie, what it's about, all that.
I know. Sometimes being the first is not always the best. Very fair point. Well, this is a great film and has garnered a lot of attention from festivals and just a lot of different things. Let's talk about this. We'll start with you, Camille. As a storyteller, you've been a part of some great projects in your career, but I know oftentimes that moment comes where you have to decide why you want to be a part of something or what drives you or attracts you to the project. So my first question would be this: what interested you in this as a storyteller and made you decide you wanted to commit your time to it as a creative? No pressure at all with Jason sitting here.
Well, obviously, Jason. No, there's lots of reasons really with this. It's one, the script is so interesting, and the ideas that it brings up are so interesting to me, as well as that the character that I play is so fierce, that she's such a capable person who's sort of driving herself to the brink of insanity. And I really like that idea, and I thought that would be super fun to play. And then as well, I knew Adam Beach was attached, and I thought that would be super fun. So I don't know, it just seemed like a good time to go get crazy in the woods.
Yes, that's the other thing too that I find fascinating about this, is that you are in the elements, you're experiencing these things in real time. And I think as a viewer of content, that adds to the authenticity of things and makes it go, okay, I can believe this is actually happening, and it's not in a studio somewhere in West Hollywood. Not that that's bad, but when you can start adding all those elements into it. Well, Jason, again, this is a great project. You've done other fantastic work as well. What was your mindset or your headspace when wanting to put something like this together?
Oh man, this was a really interesting one because it's different than the other movies I'd made. Basically, last spring, I had an $8 million movie that was fully financed, ready to go. We were a week away from opening the production office. And an article in the LA Times came out about our lead actor getting a little handsy in a sex club, and the entire movie fell apart. And it was a movie that I spent about 5 years kind of working on and developing. And I took a lot of long walks and mental health days and just thought about, like, what do I want to do next? And I just decided to do the opposite of that. That was a big, dumb movie, and I decided to do something small and intimate and kind of more heartfelt and beautiful. And yeah, really kind of going back to my roots, and our roots as filmmakers is like gathering a small like-minded group of people to set out on this kind of crazy adventure, and really just wanted to do something about performance and about these two actors and these two people in this kind of extraordinary circumstance. So that was kind of my jumping off point.
Yes, and everybody stay away from the Googles trying to search and figure out what that was, albeit I know what you're talking about, but that's not why we're here. So that's
another podcast. That's a different podcast.
That's and your publicist for the film is listening. So but I digress. If I went back and went through my catalog of interviews, I can certainly assure you there's probably a gem in there or two where something happened crazy. But again, as you said, that's a different podcast. Camille, you've been a part of a lot of great projects. You've done a lot of different types of roles, but where did the storytelling journey begin for you and your introduction into this crazy industry and making you decide that you wanted to pursue this as a full-time vocation? Because it's so different than what most people are used to.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I was, I watched tons of movies like everybody else. I loved them. I watched. And I went to an arts high school where I didn't study acting, but I studied painting. But then I was able to perform in a couple of plays while I was there and go see lots of plays. And when I was a kid, also, my mom used to take me to the Stratford Festival in Ontario. So I sort of developed a love for the theater. And then I came to UBC to go to school, and I knew I wanted to go to the acting program, but you don't audition until the second year. And there's no one in my family who's an artist, so professionally. So it didn't seem like a real job. So I sort of kept it to myself, like, well, I'll either pursue the acting thing or I'll move to Paris and, marry a rich man or something like that. But it worked out, and I got into the program. And so I did the theater program there. And then when I got out, I was very lucky in that I found an agent right away, and sort of TV and film just took off for me.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of success very quickly, with some of the series that you were a part of, which I think is very cool. Some really great shows, by the way. I was going through your filmography, and there are a couple in there that I was like, man, I wish those would have lasted just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like Rookie Blue. I mean, all those shows that you did early on, which was a great show, by the way. So Jason, the question would be the same for you. Again, obviously, you've worked on a lot of different types of films, from the major studio to the smaller independent films. And I don't even like that term necessarily, because I think when you're putting together art, there's nothing independent about it. You might have to do a lot more of the footwork, raising money and those things like that, but you always manage to create something special for the audience. So again, for you, where did that journey begin?
Yeah, I mean, I've always made movies since I was 7 or 8. Anytime there was a camera kicking around, I would grab it and shoot family functions and make stupid, stunt videos with my friends. And all throughout high school and even university, I would kind of avoid doing homework or assignments by making films. And the teachers were always so impressed that was like a whole bunch of extra work, but it was really just what I love to do. So it's kind of what I've always done. Went to film school here in Canada, lived in LA for a time, and I've made 14 or 15 movies, and my business model is just story development. I fully believe that unique, interesting stories will always find a home, find some money, find some talent. And that's kind of just what I focus on, is interesting ideas and working with new writers and collaborating. It's what I get excited by.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this type of work so fun, is that you're able to really get into that creative process. When will this be available for people to watch? Because I know right now you're screening it and it's in that process where it's going in front of different types of audiences.
Yeah, this film is doing the film festival circuit right now. So, potentially it'll be coming to your city, and then it'll be available on all the, streaming platforms, I would say, by next fall.
Yes. And if you ever come to the Denver area to screen this, I would love to be a part of that. This is a city where creative arts is very big. So I think this would do well here. Yes. Well, thank you both for your time. Again, congratulations to you on all your success. And I cannot wait for people to watch Exile, streaming on a streaming service near you very soon. I mean, there's like 30 plus platforms. So if you do get a chance to see this in a theater, I recommend it, because you can't exchange the theater experience than from watching it on your cell phone screen or a computer screen. So congratulations to both of you. Great work. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Brett. Good to see you.